Hi, everybody, and welcome to Book Club with Bay. I am Bay, and this is Bay. Say hi, Bay.
Hi, Bay.
I forgot to unmute YouTube, or to mute YouTube. Oh my bad.
Whoops.
So I was like, fuck. Today we're talking about Emperor of Thorns, the third and last book in the Broken Empire trilogy. And as always, we will start off with ratings. So I know I keep going with fudge, but so this is like fudge, but with like some kind of nuts in it, and like you're like pretty sure you know what kind of nuts they are, but like you're not sure. So like you're still having fun, you still feel warm and fuzzy, but like you'd like to know what the fuck is in it. And I'll explain that later.
I'm gonna do two things, and two are gonna be in the same theme as my previous two. Because my first one was pork scapellini.
Yeah.
My second one was a really nicely seasoned rare steak.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this one would be probably a bit more along the lines of maybe like a really good chicken schnitzel, but with cheesecake.
Yeah.
To follow it. Because there was some sweeter moments in this book, but I don't know, like these books kind of like I read them and they feel like a good meal.
Yeah, they do. Like they
feel like a meal.
Somehow it's like you feel kind of warm and fuzzy, but then like I don't know, like also satisfying. But like I said, there's just like a little thing in this book, and it's not a bad thing. That's like, what is that? But yeah,
and we said before that we would discuss like the ending, but I will say though the general theme of how the book ends, like I think that's the only way that this series could have ended or should have ended.
Yeah, I agree.
I will say that bit.
Also, again, spoilers ahead. This is Book Club with Bay, not spoiler-free book review with Bay.
Yes.
So
just keep that in mind.
Okay. Sorry. You know what? I just have to send this to you because.
Okay, send to me.
I shall. Okay. So
also, just for any new viewers as well, this is not a formal stream. We get up and walk away midstream for various reasons.
Yeah.
We text during streams. Sometimes
things happen.
Yeah, life is a thing, people.
Yeah, this is not a formal stream at all. I did want to ask you, what was your favorite book in this series?
Oh, okay. So that's a thing that happened. What did you say? Sorry.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yes. Isn't it a thing that happened? I said, what was your favorite book in this series? Oh, I got to text Addie that. 1 moment, everybody.
It depends on what I'm going for. Like, I think they both, like all three of them are pretty solid. I would say my least favorite, and not because it's bad, but just because I guess the least amount of stuff happens, would be the first one. The first one is more or less like Georgia history. Yeah. Whereas like 2 and 3 is more, this is life stuff happening now type thing. I don't know. I think I don't know which one I prefer. Maybe number 2. Number 2's got a lot more action and stuff in it, whereas this one I feel like Jorgen's up where he's meant to be.
Yeah, like, so my answer is kind of a cop-out, but I like all of them. Not equal. It's not that I like them equally. It's that it's something that, you know, should happen when there's a series with an overarching plot. So like Mercy Thompson, you know, not everything's it's threaded together, obviously, because it's a series, but like everything is very episodic. This is not like episodic. And I feel like it ended up the way that something at a non-episodic series should end up, which is where I'm like, I like all the books, and I don't want to say that I like one less than the other, because none of them can exist without the other. And I think that's a good place for a series to be by the time you end it.
Yeah, like I said, like with the first one, the main reason I would say that would be my least favorite is again just because there's less plot to it.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that. Like, because it was done in a way that kept you engaged. Like, it keeps you engaged
For sure.
while not giving you a lot of plot to work with, which is actually probably that's a pretty tough thing to do, because literally the first book is Jorg goes and does a thing and comes home, then he goes and does another thing and comes home, and now he's king.
Yeah. I mean, that's more or less the plot. But at the same time, like all the things that happen,
it's hard to make that plot compelling.
Yes, it is. And at the same time, even though I would say, I guess the first one's my least favorite, although like I don't know, because it really gets me like all warm and fuzzy, because I'm like, we're going on an adventure and I know what happens. I think it's like the second and third one wouldn't be good if the first one didn't do what it did. Yeah, and that's why it's hard for me to be like, I like one book. Like Mercy Thompson, I can tell you like what my favorite book is because they're episodic. This is like, I like it all. And I think that's a good place to be.
Yeah. And even with a book series that has where the entire series is episode, like the series is a movie instead of it's a TV series, you know. Yeah. That's what this is. It's a 3-parter movie, effectively, I guess. Or it's a really, really long movie with 3 acts in it. Fair, whatever. It's still very hard to do a series of that kind and have each book be at least close to equal with the other books in the series.
Oh, it's incredibly hard.
It's very hard to write consistently engaging storylines.
Well, and it's something that, at least for me personally, writing like the Rosalie Watson series, I've been very conscious of. Because like, you know, a good sequel is like ups everything, you know, because like usually you get like a middle book dip. 3 trilogies are great, but they're also dangerous. Because there's the danger of like having the middle book be just waiting to get to the last one. And yeah, so it's well done.
Yeah. This book has left me the most satisfied, I will say that.
Yeah. I
would have been very, very disappointed. Okay, like ignoring the last couple of chapters, because that's the thing that we need to discuss in depth later.
Yes, we do.
But okay, ignoring the last 2 chapters, I think it's 2.
It's 2 or 3.
Yeah, this book goes exactly where it was supposed to go.
Yeah.
And how I would have, like, I didn't consciously think of it, but I think if it had ended any other way, I would have been really pissed off.
Yeah, like I really like the ending, except for the ending, but it's not that I don't like. We'll get to it. But this is also a book where like the plot got simplified again. It's pretty much Jorg becomes emperor, the book, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Like nothing else really happens.
Yeah, like.
Oh well, he has a kid.
I mean, the flashbacks to this, because the one thing that took a minute to get used to as well was the flashbacks in this one occur before the present tense in the last book.
Yes.
Because these flashbacks begin almost immediately after the flashbacks from the last book.
Yes. So it's 5 years earlier. We fucked it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Jorg is now 20.
Yes. We start on his 20th birthday, which is also like, it's a thing that I like because we start off the first book on his like 14th birthday.
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of shit that makes me like, oh my God, it's going full circle. And like, yeah.
And we can establish now, we know for a fact that Jorg and his child bride
They made
have
it.
done the do.
They bred.
Yes,
Because she's pregnant.
She was a teenager. She was a teenager when they were both teenagers when they bred. So it's
she was 15. He was 19, which is not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad.
Would she have been 15? She was 12 when they met. Then this is 2 years later. So she's 14 when she's having the baby.
Yes.
So she's 13
it's a little
when
worse.
they bred. But also, though, contextually with the relationship aspects of the time, keeping that in mind.
It's not as bad.
It's not as bad. Because one thing we do need to remember as well is while this is set in the future, it is also set in the past.
Yes. Yep.
It's futuristic, but with swordplay and castles.
Futuristic,
castles.
like if the future was Renaissance Europe.
Yes.
So, and even like 100 years ago, 15-year-olds are still getting married and getting knocked up.
Yeah, so it's like it's icky by today's standards, and I will concede. Like if I've met a guy dating a 19-year-old dating a 13-year-old. Like dating, not even sleeping with, dating, I'd be like, you're a creep. You know, this is ugh. Again, however, though, he's a monarch. It's a political marriage in like a Renaissance style, like medieval/Renaissance style environment.
Also, Miana is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, also, she doesn't read like she's
no
young teen. Like when we met her and she was 12, she read like she was older than Jog. Just saying.
Yeah. So, if he was going to do it, he did it in a way that worked. But, so anyway, the prologue.
I don't find it creepy until we start talking about it.
Yeah, it's not creepy in text. It's really not. Also, like, I was thinking, when I was 14, what was I up to? Nothing good, that's what.
Yeah.
At me 14... things happened, and that's all I'm going to say. So yeah, anyway, so I guess the prologue. Or the chapter 1, whatever. I forget what it's.
I think it's chapter 1.
I think it's just chapter 1. We are not following Jorg immediately.
Yeah. Also, I just need to interrupt for a second. This book 100% confirms that the series is Jorg's journal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Back to it.
So we're following some guy named Kai, and like the Lichkin are rising, and he's with the necromancer Chell, I think her name is, and a storm is coming basically.
It's the necromancer that in the last book was like, love me, Jorg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just because I know what happens, like we're watching the Dead King's army rise, etc.
Yes.
So then that's pretty much what happens. Like we're just watching that happen, and there's Kai, and then there's
the
bitch.
When we get to the face off with the Dead King at the end, I got words about that though. I will say that I got words about that.
Okay.
I didn't like that.
Okay. I'm interested. Like there's not really like a ton to talk about like in the actual text. So I'm thinking this one, I think we could go like out of order. Not out of order,
yeah,
but I think
do we want to do like the flashback sequence and then the current sequence?
Yeah, so let's start with the flashback, and we'll start with Jorg's flash, like because we're flashing sideways as well. Is essentially what chapter.
Oh yeah, we are too, aren't we? Yeah,
but like it's all very intertwined. So let me just do the flash sideways, okay? Let me just talk about it. The flash sideways is where we're following the necromancer that was like, Jorg loves me. And we're following Kai, and who's going to become a necromancer or whatever, and we're just kind of watching that happen. We're just getting information about the Dead King, basically.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happens.
Yeah, it's more or less just like, by the way, this is information I couldn't figure out how to fit into following Jorg, so we'll put it here for Dead King. What's that? Exposition.
Yes.
It's just the asides is just Dead King exposition.
The other thing too, and I'm going to compare this to House of Night for practical reasons, is that in House of Night, a lot of what happens is we flash sideways to like Nefret to get information about the bad guy, and we're like, fuck off. We don't need to be here. And it's boring, it's stupid. This was done very well in that it wasn't done too often, like all the flashback sequences, or I guess
and
in this
it
case,
stopped.
sideways.
And part of the reason I forgot is I think like the second half of the book doesn't really have any, and if it does, only a couple.
Right, like it's done in a way that doesn't disrupt the story, so it's fine. And then at the same time, it's information that you know you can't get otherwise. It's information that doesn't ruin anything. House of Night. Prologue.
Yep.
Here's the fucking thing. You didn't need to read the rest of the book. Like, because that's what House of Night would do. It would be like, let's flash sideways to Nefret, make it so you don't have to read the whole book, and then I'm going to make you read the whole book. And it was like, what the fuck? So this is like information that we couldn't get any other way, and you know that. It's also information that's interesting. I think also knowing that there's another trilogy wherein the Dead King is a thing, and that matters.
Yeah.
It's also interesting.
And another thing as well is like, look, we probably, like, if he had left those out, I don't think it would have affected the story too much.
Right.
But I think it just gives us a better understanding of, also there's kind of like also the gravity of the Dead King revelation at the end of the book, but also just it intrigued you to be like, how the fuck is this going to end as well?
Yes.
It's like in a movie where you're watching and then you don't quite know what the bad guy's plan is. You don't really know anything yet, but like you just get like little snippets of it and you're like, oh, this is interesting. And then it goes back to the thing. It's like, but I want to know more. God damn it.
Right. But then once you're back at the thing, you're like, oh, but I want to stay here. So it works and it's not intrusive. Well. And also like it's not giving you spoilers, which I think is the biggest thing that makes it not suck.
Yes. Because again, back to House of Night for a minute. Yes, all of their different POVs, especially the Neferet ones. Instead of stopping, so like, you know, the reader can be excited to find out the mystery of the thing. Like, for example, Aurochs. Not only did we get to find out exactly what Aurochs was going to be and what he was going to do and how he was going to be made, we also got to witness it. And then we had to deal with the next book or two books and it just being a whole big, like, I'm so confused thing.
Right. But at this point, we're so
all
over
the characters, where all the characters, like, what's going on? And it's like, well, we know. We should have been finding out with the characters. But we didn't. Yeah. We knew well in advance and it was annoying.
Yeah, like this managed to give us like interesting world building while also doing the thing and also without showing us anything that ruined it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it was done well.
Yeah. So that's our side. That's our side stuff. So then our back in the past stuff, we pick up because it ended kind of on a cliffhanger where it was like, this is my family. Uh-oh, bye. And we were like, wait a minute. I want to know more about that. So we pick back up with like Jorg. He's on the Horse Coast, which again is where Miana's from. At this point, he doesn't know, or he's had his memory erased.
Yeah, he erased his own memory.
So he doesn't know like that he's met her.
He knows he's engaged.
That's all he knows. Engaged, and that's all he knows. So he doesn't know who Miata is at this point. And we're like with his grandfather. And And this is more dealing with like political stuff than anything.
Yes. Although I do like his maternal family.
Yes, I do too. They're fun.
They're good eggs.
They are good eggs. And I realized that it sounds like everything's super simplistic, but like when you actually read it, it's just really good. Like I don't know what it is about taking such a simple
that's
plot
what I was
lines.
saying about the first book. Like the first book, even like including the flashbacks, there was like literally no subplots. It was just Jorg goes, does a thing, comes home, goes back out, does a thing, comes back home, and then he goes and becomes king.
Yeah, I think it's just because like
it didn't feel like that.
I think it's just because you're like watching Jorg evolve as a person, and like somehow if you get if you are unlike the couple of people who don't like the first book, if you can get past the first couple of scenes with him, it's just like a really fun adventure of like, I don't know, like watching him grow as a person, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Like by the end of it, you're really rooting for him. At least like I was rooting for him by the end of the first book. But
like Jorg is a little like Dexter.
Yeah.
He's a sociopath that you root for, and you're like, I don't know why I'm rooting for a serial killer, but I am.
It's like Damon on steroids.
Like it's just, I like it. And
yeah,
I like anti-heroes.
I do too.
Can do a good anti-hero, I am pleased.
Yeah, because also like
well-written anti-hero.
I like anti-heroes that like are committed to, because again, unlike what they did with Damon, they don't chop off Jorg's balls. Also, real quick,
and they had the chance to.
They totally did.
He had the chance to back up. Do you need to yeet for a minute?
No. On the note of the Vampire Diaries, I sent you a text and you didn't respond.
Yeah,
I said Andy Starr would have been like, because okay,
I know, but she's so much older than Damon though. That's the main thing though. Like she looks like
she's
in
not.
her 30s. But she looks it.
By the end of the series, so does he.
Yes, because unfortunately, while you might maybe playing a vampire, you still age like a human.
Yeah.
You know what the funniest? Just quick side note on that, and we'll go back to your side note. The funniest thing is watching like episode 1 of Buffy and then the last episode of Angel.
Yeah.
There's like 8 years between them, and
Mm-hmm.
David Boreanaz is like, you know, nice, smooth skinned. He's like, he's fit, all that stuff, and then by the end, he's like gotten a little bit chunky, and he's got like, and the chunk is like made obvious like some acne scars and shit on his face, and he just looks like he's aged a decade.
Yeah.
It's just like, but I thought you weren't supposed to age.
But like, yeah, I mean, like, so Damon looks older by the end of it, but also I think it just would have been more interesting. Like, I think that was one relationship that worked. Because also, like, by the time that she dies,
also this isn't pre-recorded. We just don't chat often because we get caught up in our conversation.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We're bad.
In the show, again, spoilers for Vampire Diaries, like Vampire Diaries season 2 or season 3, whenever this happens, when she dies, it's like obvious that he gives a shit.
Yeah, I know. And
so like I used to be a Delana, and now I don't agree with it. I'm like, it should have been stuff. It should have been stuff in the entire time. But I think I think they could have done something interesting with that, and they just fucked it up. Also, I don't like. Catherine gets taken out like a bitch, and I don't like it either. They did weird things to her character too.
Honestly, they did a whole lot of weird things. Like, yes. Part of why it's such an enjoyable show is because it's like the mother of all soap operas, you know.
Yes.
But when they started the whole doppelganger thing, and they ended up having like what? How many were there? There was like
there were so many doppelgangers.
Like 4 or something, or 4 or 5 in a room together. And it's just like Nina Dobrev does not have the acting range for this scene. She doesn't leave her alone. Poor thing.
And then they made
But they just
Stefan a
kept on throwing in more
doppelganger.
and more. I know. Although I loved Silas.
Yeah, I like Silas, so I'm not mad about
He
it.
was sassy, and I appreciated it.
Yeah. Like, Paul
Because
Wesley got to...
it kind of gave us our evil Stefan fix without making Stefan evil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
But
also post evil Stefan, it was just such a drag.
oh my God.
Every time he went evil and then turned his humanity switch back on, I was just like, fucking kill me. The next half of the season's gonna suck.
Like, really, they fucked up, like, making... And, like, the thing is, like, LJ Smith already made that mistake. Why'd you do this? You know?
Well, to be fair, LJ Smith, original. LJ Smith only wrote the first few books as well.
That's true.
The rest of it, she doesn't own her pen name.
You know what we should
publishing company does
is we should go through, because like the OG book club was us comparing the Vampire Diaries book to the show. That was like, no, it was either that or like Eve the Awake. I forget which one it was, but
I think it was either Eve the Awakening
or that
or Marked.
No, Marked was
about
way later.
I swear Marked was pretty close. Or maybe we just did a general House of Night.
I think we might have
on a random stream.
I think we might have like done a general like rant stream, but I know we didn't read Marked until just because like this sticks out in my head.
Yeah, Eve might have been the first book club.
I think it might have been, but then the next thing we did, it was one of the two. It was either, I don't know which order it was in, but the first two things we did was read Eve the Awakening, and and I'm still mad that there's not like a second book. We read Eve the Awakening.
No,
and
where I want more phallic USBs.
Same, and we read, we read like one of the Vampire Diaries books and compared it to the show. But I think in the spirit of book club, like we didn't read all of them, and I'm like, why not?
We'll have to go from start, and I will say it's going to be bad book week. I'm sorry, it has to be bad book week
because they suck.
And we'll actually do every book from the first one if we do that, because we didn't actually talk too much about the first book. It was more just the general feel of the books versus the TV show.
Yeah, like we were just comparing them, and I'm like, but we didn't actually do book club. So
yeah. I am gonna. Oh, also before we get further into Emperor of Thorns as well, House of Night TV. I'm getting an update on the TV series.
Oh right, fuck. This is welcome to Emperor of Thorns, where we don't talk about that book.
It's how book club goes. Anyone who views book club at all knows that we go off on tangents.
Yeah, anybody who watches this knows that like do we ever talk about what we're supposed to talk about? No, we do not.
Yeah. Nothing's come up since October, so no new news on the TV series.
What a bummer.
But if and when that does eventually happen, we will be doing Hun TV Club.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what
Hun TV Club with Bay. With Bays. That's what we're doing.
We'll come up with a better name for it. I think we should just call it Bite Me.
Okay. Okay, guys.
Anyway, back to Emperor of Thorns.
This was my fault, so I can't say anything. So the flashback is. I'm going in my notes.
He goes Afrique in the flashbacks, yeah.
Sorry. So when he's like when he's in Afrique and he's talking to like the person that does the fortune telling or whatever.
Yes, we'll just call him the fortune teller. We'll just say that.
This is when he's in that city.
Yeah.
That's when the epic crossover happens in the Wheel of Oshheim.
I'm just trying to remember who's there. Who's there for that?
But like it doesn't happen in this book.
Oh, so we don't witness it, but
in the Wheel of Oshheim, like you get to see Jorg and Valen talk to each other, and it's like,
yeah.
Sorry.
And then one thing I thought you were also gonna like is like one part that I think you were also probably squeeing over based on just your reaction to, you know, the mention of a road in the last book.
Yeah.
Was the scene with the Red Queen.
Yes. Yes, I was having like a heart attack. And it doesn't get old for me. Like I have like a new heart attack every time.
Yeah. And I will say the watch me thing in this book was far less jarring and annoying kind of than the last one.
Tim Gerard Reynolds just does like a much better Taproot, I will say.
Yeah.
He's one of those people that like if I could have an audiobook narrated by anybody.
Oh, speaking of narrators as well. So went to give Mum her tablets last night and I walk in and whose voice do I hear yet again?
Jennifer L. Armentrout, narrated by Justine Eyre.
One of the most annoying things with though was the chapters weren't like announced like chapter 1. It like was like I think I walked in on 15. It was like 15. Name of chapter
15. The Giant Star.
I was looking like I know that voice.
Alex.
Agape moo.
Kidding. Got the bunny. So many bad things have happened to us.
Oh, Justine.
Sorry.
His voice is imprinted into my head. Seriously, I could walk like. But I will say, as soon as I hear it, I know it.
Some of my favorite memories with us are like the Covenant streams. Those were just really good. It was just really fun, but also, but Justine. I think I'm so fond of those streams because that's when like we really got a format for book club.
Yeah. I think it's also just been a while since we did an enjoyably bad YA.
Yeah, like House of Night is been painful. A while. It's painful.
I do think we need to look into doing an enjoyably bad.
Yeah.
YA soon. Like,
because Strange Angels is also painful.
Yeah, we'll have to have a chat with Addie and we'll work out an enjoyably bad thing to do soon.
I'm also
because I think we need it.
Because I think because there are a couple authors I can think of that might be bad, but I don't know. Like I might think like what we might think are bad, but I don't know, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm also gonna have some fun memories of those streams as well because I was in labor.
You were
in one of them.
You were in labor,
and we didn't know. I didn't think I was because we
were joking about it. We were like, wouldn't it be funny if you were in labor like right now? And she was.
Yes, and then at like 1:15 that night / morning side of night, I had another baby. And it was just a thing.
It was fun. Good time.
It was like mid-evening, and I look at Stacey and I'm like, okay, I think I might actually be in labor, just so you know. And he was just like, since when? I'm like, I think all day. I don't know.
It's like
I don't know what happened.
And like, given how many babies, it's only been 2, but given that 2 babies have happened as a result of book club, meaning labor, I genuinely, I think that, when Addie and I have kids, it's gonna, I think it's gonna happen. Like, I think book club just induces labor.
Yes. Yeah, because I think the other baby, we didn't, because I need to check with her to see if I'm allowed to say this, but not this bit, but in general. But yeah, no, the other one wasn't said on stream, but I said immediately after stream that I think so and so is going to be having a baby any day now, and then the next day the baby was born.
Yeah, book club induces labor, kids.
Yeah, but
so if you're pregnant
labor was gone into the next day.
So if you're pregnant and you're ready to have that baby, you just watch book club. It'll fix it.
Yep. And get us to discuss the fact that you're about to pop at any point, and then you'll pop. Yeah. Apparently, it's just how it works. Back to Emperor of Thorns.
Yeah, now that all that's happened, I'm like, let's be efficient tonight. Didn't happen.
Okay, so how the hell did we end up getting to Afrique again? How did we get from Horse Coast to Afrique?
I think we just sailed.
I can't remember that bit.
I think we glossed over it.
I think Grandpapa was like, you need to go and do a thing, George.
Yeah.
I think Grandpapa had a part in it. I don't know. He doesn't actually call him that. I just think it's fun to say.
But when we're in Afrique and we are talking to like the fortune teller, the fortune teller is just like telling him things.
Was the whole point of, because the flashback storylines in each book have a purpose. Was the purpose in this one to get to the fortune, where he finds out what's going to happen at the end of the book?
I think so.
Okay, because I can't, like, I was thinking about it after I finished the book. I'm like, I think that's the end of the flashbacks when the guy's like, okay, I'll put it in a box and then I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Type thing. So I think that was it.
Yeah, I think that was it too. But it's funny because like when you're reading it, you're not thinking that. You're not like, oh, is this pointless? I don't know. Like I just
Yeah. I mean, one interesting thing as well was Jorg was straight up told that he was gonna
Yeah, he was told.
Yeah, he was told that he would only make it to 20 years or something.
Yeah. And Jordan was like, whatever.
But also because he'd also been told that knowing your future changes your future, etc. So you also had that in, because like it was like almost immediately after those words were said, that whole conversation happened.
Yes.
So like it kind of gives the reader like a bit of like, maybe, but then also
right,
you expect it to happen in a particular way, and then when it doesn't happen that way, you're like, oh, I guess he thwarted the fortune.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, he doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't. Jorg does die. Again, book club with Bay, not spoiler-free book review with Bay. We talk about things that happen. So that's our back plot. So like jumping back to the now plot. It's his 19th birthday. Our girl is pregnant.
20th birthday.
Sorry, it's her 20th birthday. Our girl's pregnant. And then we find out
she's about ready to pop.
Yeah, and then we find out that Jorg has to go do a thing.
Yeah, they have to go and vote on it. Like, I guess it's like I don't know how often this happens, if it's every 1 or 2 or 5 years or something, but everyone goes and does a vote to declare an emperor, and no one ever wins.
Right.
And Jorg's like, I'm gonna win. Is that where they initially go, or does he do something else before they go there?
That's pretty much it.
Okay.
Well, because there's like a little back and forth because
happens.
like Miana wasn't supposed to go with us, but then she does.
Yeah. And Catherine comes and joins.
Oh, yeah.
How does Catherine get in? I can't remember how
they
Catherine
just rock
joins
up and she's there and they're like, hey.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking, and I was like, no, that can't be it.
No, that's exactly what happens. Like, Catherine's just there.
Okay.
Okay, real quick. So Catherine is sending Jorg dreams. They used to be only nightmares.
Yes.
Jorg still has a hard on for her. He never fights the dreams. He just like lets it happen. And like some things happen in the dream, but like whatever. And then one thing that's interesting after this first sequence is he's thinking about Miana and how he doesn't necessarily like love her. But he's like, but I don't think I want her dead. I think like that would make me really cranky. And I think it would make me cranky if anything happened to my son. Oh shit. Oh, right. Miana gets almost murdered.
That's right. That's why she joins.
Yes. So Miana gets almost murdered. And then we go get her. And now we're on our way to the holy city.
And
meaning that we get to go down the Roma road.
But one of the things that I quite enjoyed was when Jorg is like sitting in the carriage with Miana and Catherine.
Yeah.
And Gumsty.
Yes.
And they're all just sitting there. And Jorg's just like, fucking kill me.
So I have a question though. Like, who do you like better, Catherine or Miana?
Well, honestly, like the thing with Catherine is Jorg meets her for like 10 minutes and he's in love with her for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
Like they've never had a good relationship at all. Whereas Miana feels one, more like a person, two, she's definitely more suitable as his bride. Because Catherine's more just like, I want to be pretty and have babies. Whereas Miana can actually like be like we saw at the wedding, she was like, so bad shit's gonna happen. And Jorg's like, yeah, bad shit is gonna happen. And in his head he's thinking, so I'm gonna go and do it. And then Miana's like, I think you should go and do it.
Yeah.
And
yeah, she's more suited to him.
Yes.
And it's one of these things that I actually kind of enjoy being sad about, because every time Jorg is like, I'm in love with Catherine, I'm like, but why? Because
yeah, but I also like though that Jorg is also more pragmatic than his love.
Yes.
Like he also doesn't like when he's with Catherine for most of this book. And he doesn't try a thing.
No.
He's like, I got my queen. I love you, but I have a queen.
Yeah.
You know, and that's pretty much. And he's very fond of Miana.
Yes.
He doesn't quite understand what fondness is, but he's very fond of her.
Yes, he's very fond of her. Another thing that he says is he's like, she still looks young and I don't like it. So
yeah, he's like, oh, but he did concede that, like, you know, pregnancy has like made her more curvy in the chest area, as it does. He's like, maybe when she's older, I'll find her attractive. Let's hope so.
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with like how pretty she is. It's just she's young and it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think as well, I think one of the big reasons why most people like Team Miana as well is Jorg respects her and has from the minute he met her.
Yes.
Or remembers meeting her. Whereas he might love Catherine, but he has zero respect for her.
Right.
He thinks that she's someone that needs to just be wrapped in cotton wool and locked away for her own protection, which, to be fair, she should. Because when she's left to her own devices, she does stupid things.
Yes.
Catherine should have no freedom. She should be locked in a tower. She should be Rapunzel.
Right. But like Miana's smart. He respects her. He's fond of her. And you're just sitting there like, Jorg, you're in love with her. Shut up.
Yeah.
You're like, this is
Like,
what love is, Jorg. But he figures it out by the end of the book, so it's fine.
Yeah, Miana and Jorg would have had a very content life with each other. Maybe not like, in general, but in terms of their relationship, I think they would have been very content with their lives together.
Yeah, I think so too.
Had things gone differently.
Yeah. That's like the one thing that makes me sad about the ending is I'm like,
I know, but I also think part of it's kind of cute in terms of, but we'll get to the
yeah, we'll get to it. Like it was, the fact that I'm like, aw, is a good thing. Like if I wasn't upset about it, then like it would be bad, but I'm upset about it in the right way.
Yes.
So anyway, so now that we have Miana and like she's all good, basically what we do is we go to the holy city.
Yep.
We go to Rome.
Well, we go to Vatican City more specifically initially.
Right. But we pass through
Which to be
March.
Rome, but it's a different country, Bay.
Yeah.
Have some respect.
But we go through Red March, which was really fun.
Yeah.
It's just like mentioned often. Yeah.
Yeah. Miana, at what point does Miana have the baby? Where are they when she has it's before they see the Pope. I know that much.
Yeah. I think I have it written down. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it's before they get to Rome. She has
right. Yeah. So
also,
it's
just give me 1 second. I need to do a correction. It's not Mary Jane. It's Mara.
Oh.
It's written, and it's an actual name. It's not a marijuana reference. I'm kind of just over it now. It's been like a decade of stuff like this.
Of what? Just
it's like people read Mara as Mary for some reason. I was like, but it's not.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay. It's just one of those things where like it comes a point, like if your name has the ability to have a joke made about it, or you meet someone who has a name that has the ability to have a joke made about it, like here in
like Mercedes,
Australia,
the Volkswagen mechanic.
Yes, but like if you meet someone, we'll say this: guaranteed, people have been making that joke for their entire lives.
Yeah, and you can do a stop it now.
And it gets to the point where it's like it might be amusing to you, but it just gets annoying.
Yes.
Yeah, that was it. Rant over.
No, it's after. It's like we stopped, and at some point, Miana's like, "Oh, you should build a cathedral," and he's like, "What a good idea."
Yes.
And then he feels bad because he doesn't want to spend like quality time with her.
Yes. And I think this was like when he was like, I want the fuck out of this carriage.
Yeah.
Because she gets sad.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, okay. It's like, God damn it, Miana, now you're making me feel bad, but I don't want to be here.
Okay, so she has the baby after we pick up Catherine, and Catherine's a fucking bitch.
Yep.
This made me kind of hate Catherine a little bit because she's like, while they're talking and like introducing themselves, and like Miana's a doll, she's just like, oh hey, how's it going? Like,
yeah,
she's doing good, and then Catherine's like, oh yeah, like what happened with your brother that died? And like as the reader, you're just like, ooh, how dare you? How dare you say things?
I mean, I can also, part of me can also understand why she's a little bit bitter as well because of past and now she's like, all she ever wanted, like after she married the Prince of Arrow and everything was to, have little babies with him, but she'd already sterilized herself unknowingly. And then and now he's dead too.
I don't like her.
And then Jorg, who she's had like a bit of a rough go with for the last like half a decade, he's just sitting there, king, with a pregnant wife. And she's like, well, fuck you. Dare you.
We find out that in this conversation, just from his internal dialogue, he doesn't say this out loud, but from what people are saying around him, people are saying that like William, that's his brother's name, his stepbrother's name, was like the smarter of the two, the more ambitious of the two, all that kind of stuff.
Much more like his father.
Right. And we find out through Jorg's internal dialogue that he's like the wrong son died. And it's like, aw.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing as well. When we catch up with Catherine, she passes on some news to Jorg that makes Jorg do a cranky about Daddy. I'm pretty sure it was Catherine that tells him.
Yeah, I think it is too.
His dad's dead and Jorg's pissed.
Yeah.
Not because, he's like, but Daddy. It's more, I wanted to kill him.
Yeah. It's more, yeah, it's definitely, it's definitely like a, hey, that was my job.
That was going to be my Christmas present, god damn it.
No, I don't know that it is Catherine because I'm reading that's what I was doing. I was reading the conversation that they have because Jorg is like, because Mion is like, I want to meet my father-in-law. I was hoping that would happen because you're here in his stead. And Catherine's like, oh, I don't know what he's up to.
Well, maybe they find out later then.
I think they find out later.
At some point, they find out that he's and Jorg's pissed off.
Yeah, he's not happy about it. So also the Dead King's army is fucking up Ancrath.
Yep. Which is why Catherine's there, I think. And
yes. And then we get the fun bit, which is where we get to see, I'm sorry, I'm skipping around, but like,
that's okay.
It's fine. We get to see Vexler and his like ghosty ghost because we go into like a thing where like there's builder steel and stone and like we yeet down into it and then we find like it's at first it sounds like a wax museum.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was at first, like the first time I read it, but it's the guy. So Vexler is like the guy that we met last book, the ghost echo thing that we met last book. So not Alexa.
Yeah, the one who was like, dickhead, I'm not a ghost. I am literally like a data program of a person, just so you know.
We find out every time. So we find out like that Vexler's here and he's like frozen in time because he was going to kill himself, basically. Yeah. And Jorg like helps it happen.
Because he's a bro.
So like they unfreeze time and do all that kind of stuff. But then like the hologram version of Vexler is talking to him and he's like, there are machines, there are these things, and like we really wanted you guys to like fix it and figure it out, but that's not gonna happen until you motherfuckers are past the whole swords and shields thing. Also, when Jorg sees a gun, he knows what it is. He's like, oh, I've seen pictures of that. Like,
yeah. Well, that is one thing that he has said as well. Like, Tudor Lundis taught him how to rebuild a script and this and that. So I imagine that he knows a lot about build. And he always has seemed to be very in touch with a lot of builder-related stuff.
Yes.
He just doesn't understand Alexa yet. Although I think he's coming to understand it now.
Yeah. So
I think by this book he has a pretty, because he's also gotten to the point as well where like someone like where he tries to say this is like a machine doing a thing and everyone's like, wait, what? And he's like, God, you're stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he gets it now, but he's also like drawn about it.
Yeah, so while he's talking to Vexler's like, there's like a thing with like 1,000 suns, and like when you did the thing, he's basically saying like the Red Keep and all that. He's like, that was like a leftover bullshit thing and you're a joke. But like, had there been any kind of nuclear stuff left, you would have blown everything up and bad boy. And Jorg is like, okay. And then he's like, now there's a problem because the builders made a wheel. And I was like, and every time I'm like, oh, the wheel of Asham. Yes.
I just remembered as well, in the flashbacks when he was in Africa, they're destroying a whole shit ton of builders. And he's like, but why? And I'm like, because it'll kill us all.
Yes. So.
And these are also people that want to not be a thing like data ghosts anymore. And Jorg's like, okay, that's fair. So I feel like that also helped him come to the decision at the end of the book as well, that knowledge and what he's chosen to do with his data life stuff. So I feel like that led to that.
So what we find out
we're talking about the Emperor of Thorns.
What we find out here is that Jorg. Oh, sorry. What we found out here is that like heaven and hell are basically like social constructs, and they're not fake, but they're not fake, which is it's weird, but it's cool. But we find out that the builders made a wheel, and they meant to turn the wheel once, but it kept turning, and so it's still turning to this very day, and it's causing a problem. Like the world's going to end in like fire and all that kind of stuff if we let the wheel keep going. And he's like, and you guys, and Vexler is like, because you guys can't get beyond the swords, somebody needs to stop the fucking wheel. Y'all fucked up. And we also find out that, like, we talked about this last time, but like the magic happened after like the nuclear apocalypse. And the more that the wheel turns, the worse that the magic thing gets, and basically the world is splitting open. I'm not going to spoil the next series, but we get way more on that next time on Game Grumps. So the world's splitting open and it's a mess. Yeah. And then also Vexler's like, you have sepsis, take drugs. It's just a thing. So yeah, and also the Echoes are like, if you guys can't figure out this whole like wheel thing and like beyond swords and stuff, we're just gonna have to wipe out humanity. That's a thing too. And then we also find out through like the side, and so that's kind of that. And then we find out through like the side jumps that the Dead King is really focused on Jorg, which at first when you read it, it's kind of weird because you're like, you fucking messy.
But like, you also assume though that he's focusing on Jorg because he sees Jorg as his biggest threat to sitting as emperor. That's how it kind of reads.
Right.
Like, because Jorg has amassed, I think, 7 kingdoms by this stage?
Yes, he has Normandy.
Yes, he does. So he's starting to build his own little empire, and he's in a good place to be voted as emperor. So that's why you think initially why he's focused.
Because the Dead King wants to be emperor. In a way. He wants to take over.
I guess.
But yeah, so in any case, then we get to, I guess like the next, I mean, it's not the next big thing. It's just like plot wise what happens. We get, like pretty much like the next big plot thing that happens is more or less like he has a son, he loves his son, and then we do the vote, and then the book's over. Like plot wise, that's pretty much what happens. A lot more happens in between. Like we talk to Taproot and everything. Are you talking?
Sorry, I'm muted. I forgot. Yeah. I've just remembered. Like there's also the bit where he kills his cousin.
Yes. Yes.
Because his cousin rocks up after his son's born, and he's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and Bill's like, "No, even if you kill me, you still won't be king of Ranor." And he's like, oh, yes, I will. Your bastard world has nothing on me. And he's like, but your dad's still alive. Just so you know. So Jorg has been holding his uncle hostage for 6 years now.
Yes. So after that, well, yeah, basically the next big thing that happens is like we're at the vote. Obviously we have the scene with the Red Queen, which is fun, but then like we're at the vote and Jorg has to be voted emperor. And he says like, oh, I was king by age 15, and I'm telling you that by 20 I'll be emperor. And long story short, he gets voted as emperor. Like,
he kind of like puts him in a tough position though. Like they're being attacked. Like the dead king's like walking in and he's like, vote me emperor now, now, now. And they're like, okay, fine.
The point is that he did it.
Huh?
The point is that he did it. And like when it happened, like I was like proud of him. I was like, go you fucking you saucy minx. Look at you go. So I was excited when it happened. But then like while it's happening, he's like, this is gonna be the shortest reign of emperor that's ever happened in the ever. And you're like, no, Jorgy Poo, why? But you know, shit happens. So then we get the fight with the dead king. And I was going to let you take it over because I know you have things to say. I know. Inopportune timing. Because I don't want to spoil it like without you saying the thing. Like, I want you to be here when we talk about it, but like you're over there muted. Oh God. If I have to leave in like the next 5 seconds, that's going to be bad. They're just going to be sitting with dead air. I want your doctoral thesis. On what happens. I'm genuinely, I'm not talking about it until you can say hi again. You need to be, this is the end of the series. You need to be here for this. We're professionals here. This is a very formal stream, as you can tell. We take everything very seriously. We think it's important to be professional when streaming. It matters. Can you just explain while I'm muted? I mean, yeah, but I don't know that I don't want to say it though. Because it's a big deal. Okay, so anyway, so we're fighting the dead king and we find out that the dead king is William. And then
yes, it is William. Sorry, I'm back now.
I stalled long enough. It's okay.
You did a very good job. Yeah, so the dead king, yes, is William, baby brother. Oh, because also Jorg's also named his son William, which is cute.
It's cute.
It is cute. But I just I don't know why.
What do you mean?
Like I don't know why it, even from like a writing perspective, why it had to be William. He didn't agonize over the decision at all. Like, because he ended up, yes, he discovers it's William and then he stabs him and he dies.
I think, at least how it read to me was that, and I have 2 things to say about it. It read to me like he was doing it to save his son and he just wasn't thinking about it.
Yeah, I guess so, but like, okay, I think, yeah, like in that moment he was finally accepting what happened to William, like his brother, and then deciding to move on, like move past that and live for his. Oh, well, not live because we know what he's going to do, but
well, I think also too,
he's choosing
like,
his son over his past
because he's had like the
I think that's what it
necromancy
was meant
stuff
to. Huh?
in him. I think because he's had like the necromancy stuff in him this whole time, he like I don't know, he like understands that like he's not alive. And Dorga, I think, is pragmatic enough.
Yeah, no, I know, but I don't like. It could have just been the dead king. It could have been freaking anyone.
Yeah.
And I don't think it would have changed a single thing.
I think the only reason why I'm okay with it is because I read the other series first, and it's like a thing that's established. Not William necessarily, but like how it happens that William like broke out of hell and etc. So I think because of all the things that happened in the other series, the first time I read this, I wasn't like, well, that's way off fucking base. Okay, I have to BRB.
That's okay. That's okay. Don't take too long. Yeah, no, I think my biggest issue with that situation is just I feel like he made it William just for the sake of making it William. And I don't even know if it's worth even going into that train of thought yet until she gets back, because she kind of can't respond to something she's not here for. And so I'm just going to be stuck sitting here talking to no one while she's gone, which is a situation I hate. So hopefully she doesn't take too long. I knew this was coming, but I was hoping that it wouldn't. But I knew it was. And I don't do well when left on my own. If there is anybody in chat, please feel free to chat to me, because I don't do well when I get abandoned midstream. Bay, TJ, Teresa J. Martin, you suck. I'm not good at not doing a thing. Check your logic. I am not good at being left all alone. Yeah, talk to me. Ask me whatever you want right now, because I'm not good at this. I stuck at dead end. Oh, and now she's back. When you decide to appear is when she comes back.
Hey.
You left me alone for way too long.
I'm sorry. I know.
I ended up just sitting there.
I know it was too long. I'm sorry.
Okay. I was just sitting there doing this.
It's not my fault.
A thread spool with a pencil.
It's not my fault. Okay. We were talking about William being the dead king, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't like it. That's what happened.
Yeah, I feel that's right. That's what I was saying, like when you were gone. And then I'm like, there's no point me even going into this because you're not here to respond and you won't even know when you come back to respond. Yeah. I feel like he made it William just for the sake of making it William.
Yeah, it does kind of read like that. Hey, Chuck.
Like maybe with the other series involving it, maybe there'll be more to it. But at this point, I'm just like, I feel like he just did it for the sake of it.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. But
what happens after?
Yeah, so he kills William, and William's like, I'm dead. And then
what happens after the Dead King is dead is that
Jorg realizes that he'll be able to just come back.
Yes.
And he realized as well that William's fixation wasn't on him, but on his son. It's like he's jealous of his son or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, this ain't good. Crikey, I've kept your... so Jorg realizes that he needs to...
Yeah, he needs to die. So that
he's got shit to do.
He needs to die so that he can go into hell and save his brother.
Yeah.
Complicated. So, yes.
Great. My sound is acting up. Give me a second.
What?
There we go. It's back.
Okay. Oh, but there's an echo.
It's the best I can do. My headphones are dead. What do you want from me?
I don't know. Oh, it's gone. Okay, we're good.
Okay. I took the volume down.
So
he realizes that the only way that his son will be safe is to...
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, I guess I got to do that then. Hey, Raki, I kept you around all these years for a reason, I guess, and I guess this is it. Kill me.
And then he does.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, right.
Rock doesn't do it. Rock's like, wait, what? And everyone's like, no, Jorg. And Catherine's running, and Miana's standing there holding this baby, and she's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. She's like, how could you?
Like, also, I think she's also got baby brain. Like, she's not long had a baby, you know. Like, she's probably tired. And so Catherine's running towards him, and Jorg's like, I don't know whether or not to try and stop me or help me. I don't know. But she's coming. And then he's like, right, just kill me. And Rock's like, but. And then I can't remember who does, but then someone else stabs him.
Yes.
And then he dies.
Then he does it.
And I feel like that's the only way. I feel like that's the only way it could have gone.
Yes, it is.
But then, we yeet to the other world type thing, and he's like, hello. Yeah, and then he finds William, and he's like, William, we have to go turn the wheel now. And William's like, okay, big brother, I love you. And he's like, I love you too, but you did it bad. And he's like, I know, I'm sorry, let's turn the wheel. And then they turn the wheel.
And then some weird ass fucking shit happens. And so I rated this book as like fudge with mystery nuts, and this is why.
Yes. So we skip forward. His son is now like a kid, and he runs into a room, and he's like, hi, Dad. Someone says you're not really my dad. And he's like, well, I'm kind of not. I'm like a data program that Wexler made of who your dad was. But I still love you. And he's like, I love you too, Daddy. I'm going to go play. And Jorg's like, okay, son, you go play.
It's also like not clear. Sorry. It's also not clear like when this is or like what world we're in when this is happening.
What do you mean?
Well, because he's like writing in his journal, and it doesn't feel like we're in like the Renaissance-y time.
I feel like
like to me
Jorg,
it doesn't.
Jorg, like Data Jorg also mentioned something about how like they're going around and dismantling all like the nuclear weapons caches and shit. Yeah. Like, he doesn't explicitly say that, but it kind of sounds, I think that's what he's doing type thing. So I feel like because he also mentions that Wexler wanted to make sure that he was the right person to do the thing. So the wheels turn now. There's no more magic. No more dead kings are going to be arising.
Right. Well, this is why.
And I think Jorg is helping lead them out of the Dark Ages into the Enlightenment. Having
read the other series, like I know what happens. And The Wheel of Oshheim is my favorite book, like, of all time. So, like, I know what happens, and knowing, like, how the reset works, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
Weird and confusing.
Yeah, I just think it's cute, though, that even though little William doesn't have a dad, he still kind of gets to have his dad.
Yeah. Well, because this like data version of Jorg isn't like all fucked up.
It's Jorg at his like it's because also one thing that Jorg also realized as well, looking at his son, he was like, look, you know, I won't. Because he also has the realization, my dad sucked. My dad was an awful father, and
Yes.
while I know, looking at my son right now, I will not be an awful father. I will still, my presence in his life will still have the same effect because the dead king will come back, etc. So now he gets to be the good dad without the emotional baggage that he would like to be for his son.
Well, and I don't know if we talked about this, but before all this happened, this is like way back, like in the middle of the book. Jorg has the the internal dialogue or monologue about whether or not he's gonna be a good dad.
Yeah.
And he's all nervous about it, and it's cute.
And he gets to be a good dad now.
It's really
Alexa Jorg.
Well, because when that happens, you're like, aw, you little murderous bastard. You're worried about being a father. That's cute. It's cute. Because he is like still an evil murderous bastard.
Don't forget rapey.
Yes, he's also rapey. He does a rape-a-doodle.
The series opens with rape.
It does open with rape. Starting off strong.
Yeah.
One of my favorite book series opens with rape. I'm sorry. It's not explicit. It's fine. But yeah, right. Look, it's how our friendship started. It's how the series starts. Like,
I'm still traumatized from that night, babe. You ruined me.
I'm sorry. Is that you know what, this is one of those things like we're not really going to be able to discuss a lot of this well, not in detail, but like there's a lot of things that I can't say until we do the other series.
And I know that as well, so I don't have a finite position on my opinion right now because I know that there's more to the world.
Yeah.
And so when we finish like the universe's books, you know,
yes,
then maybe I will.
Yeah. And it's like, as much as I like this series, because I love it to bits, the Red Queen's War is not, I don't know if it's better, but I like it better. I enjoy it more.
Yeah. Well,
although Jorg is just so much fun.
Yeah, he is.
But Jalen's really fun too. So they're both really fun.
So our next, so we're doing Strange Angels later this week.
We're doing Strange Angels on Thursday.
Yep, and then so next week we're doing like just talking about good book week stuff. We're doing Mercy Thompson, and then we're finishing Shifters and the spinoff, and then we're doing Red Queen's War. Yes.
So, but that'll happen in like 4 months. We might have to double up some of the Shifter books. It's a lot of books.
So, like in between the Shifter series and the Wildcat series, there's a novella. So we'll do the novella and the novella and the first Wildcats book is about the same chick.
Yeah.
So we'll do those together.
Okay. Sounds good. And I think, can I fucking help you? And I think that's it. Yeah.
I think that's it too.
Is that all we have to say?
Yeah. Let's wrap it up.
I'm excited for Thursday, but I'm not excited for Thursday. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to read that fucking book.
Yeah. I need to talk to you about that when we go off as well.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah.
We're having issues finding it legally.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Thursday, and then the Mercy Thompson book. And I don't already have that, but I have it pre-ordered, so that's not going to be a problem.
Excellent.
So yeah, we will see.
And that's coming out like tomorrow for you.
It is coming out tomorrow.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I'm ready for that.
Okay.
That I'm excited about. But yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway.